Hi everyone, this is the fourth run of this video. Did the first few on my iPhone and I'm having trouble with my iPhone. Maybe it's time. I have an iPhone 11. I figured it would last me years. It quits all the time on video. I've done updates. So it might be time for an upgrade. Which I saw the iPhone 13 this past weekend when I went out to dinner with a friend of mine. It looks great, so maybe maybe it's time for that. So to the matter at hand, I'm now shooting on my iPad, which is why it always looks like I'm looking off into a weird place because I think the camera's up there, but it's easier to look at myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. So let's get into this. I'm going to do a video on my favorite records of 2021 that will come shortly, some point in the next week. I'm just waiting for a few albums in physical format, which is what we do on this vinyl community, to arrive so that I can display them. But if they don't arrive in time, I will just do with what I have and call out the others. But these are my favorite. So I'm gonna move these back since I'm doing this again. Favorite album acquisitions of 2021. So let's get into it. I have a bunch. And to start, this thing was not light. The Let It Be box set, obviously tied to the Get Back documentary by Peter Jackson. I have a newfound love for this record and a newfound sort of understanding of the Beatles because of Get Back. I am halfway through. I plan on doing sort of a slow crawl to the end because I'm just loving it so much, and I'm pacing it, something I'm usually not very good at. Sorry, just need a little chug of coffee. So I plan on maybe doing the last hour or so, maybe on New Year's Eve, something like that. But it has just been an absolute treat. So it feels like the Let It Be year to me. Just this revitalized interest in the sort of end of the Beatles' career. Next, I saw this at Mazzi's when I was visiting them. It was on my way to Chicago, so in July. He played it, and I went home and ordered it immediately. I knew this record when it came out, but I'd forgotten how much I love it. Jenny Lewis and the Watson Twins, Rabbit Fur Coat. I've gone on to order all of Jenny Lewis's records. I saw her perform once when I was working in sort of entertainment and technology. I was invited to, I think it was Warner Brothers, a showcase up in the mountains in Northern California. And it was Jenny Lewis and Graham Nash. What an absolute treat. I remember sitting in the room, there's probably 50 of us, 100 of us, middle of the day, just beautiful out, and just thinking, wow, how lucky am I to have this job that affords this. So a little tangent there, but that day I sort of fell in love with Jenny Lewis's music. I bought a Rilo Kiley record, which arrived yesterday, so pumped about all those. This is the jazz record that I listened to the most in 2021. Miles Davis, In a Silent Way. Listened to it a bunch in the last week. I think I listened to it 3 times in the past week. I told a friend that the sound of that record reminds me of sort of a Martin Scorsese movie. I don't know why. There's like sort of a gritty darkness to it. Reminds me of like Mean Streets or some New York. I don't know. But I absolutely love that record. Got this year, and I think it might be the best sounding record I own. It's certainly up there. I've talked a lot about my mother's love of Roy Orbison, so to have such an incredibly crisp sounding record with a lot of just wonderful songs. I listened to this you know, if you could track your vinyl listening like we do with Spotify, somebody should probably build an app to do that. Just, I don't know, plug into your record turntable or something. This would be right up there, I'm sure, in terms of the albums I listen to the most. Next, this is a very deep cut find. Let me try. Varnalene. This is a band from the 90s that I was into. Anders Parker is the lead singer. He's performed with Jay Farrar a bunch. He also did a Woody Guthrie tribute album, which was Jay Farrar, Jim James, Will Johnson of Syndromatic, Jim James obviously of My Morning Jacket, and Anders Parker. But this came out in '98. It was on 0 Hour Records, produced by the great John Aniello. I think that's how you pronounce it. I love this record. Gulf of Mexico. It's a dark record, but I can't believe I found it, and for a reasonable price. It doesn't appear to be easy to find. On the Beatles front, bought my favorite non-Beatles Beatle album, Plastic Ono Band, the reissue. I absolutely, there, just get me out of the picture. Young shot of John with a puppy. A lot of people have talked about the richness of the colors on the reissue, and I love it. It's still sort of faded, but I just love this record so much. This one has I'm trying to put stories on. You see, I try to do that with all my records. Try to apply stories instead of just saying I bought these 10 records. This is the one-step version of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And this came from the Digital Gramophone. My buddy John, who I've never met, I hope to meet maybe in 2022 at a show in Durham or something. But John seems to have a heart of gold. He did a fundraiser for a gentleman who's in the VC community, who was in a car accident. He survived. Was, from what I understand, severely injured. I think he's recovering and doing better. But John just put a bunch of records up for sale, and from what I understand, all the money went to help this person in the vinyl community. So I bought What's Going On. John, you are a good man for doing what you did. I hope your friend is healing. I saw a message from him not too long ago, and it did sound like he's doing better. Just got this too. Coffee mug from the Hideout in Chicago. So, random aside, but almost all of my disposable income goes to music. And especially during the pandemic, one day I will maybe do it. I've talked about this, a t-shirt. I have I think over 1,000 band t-shirts. 2 are made into blankets, which I've talked about. And I have now 4 drawers filled. So whenever I go to a show, I buy a shirt. Unless they either don't have shirts or the one that they have is not my size or is awful. But I've also tried to support venues separately. So the Hideout, which I don't think I've ever even been to. I just know wonderful things about me and my brother and his friends. Bought a pint glass and coffee mug, and it feels good to whenever I buy a record or merch, posters, it just feels good. I'm supporting something that I love so much. So there you go. This Joe Strummer 001 I've yet to open, but it came as a birthday gift from the archivist. So thank you so much, Amanda. I love Joe Strummer. I know you really love Joe Strummer. And I'm going to open this up over the holidays and give it a listen. So thank you so much for that gift. Another thank you to my friend Chip Robinson from the Backsliders. They had a record store day release. I think there were only 300 of them. I don't know if they're not numbered. And you can only get it, I believe, in the Southeast. So Chip picked up a copy and mailed it to me. Thanks, man. Like, I didn't expect that. Just a good guy. Check out the Backsliders. I think there might be two Backsliders. Check out the one with the records Throwing Rocks at the Moon and what's the other one called? Southern Lines. Those are just great country rock records. Trip Robinson is. I wish, man, more people knew about the Backsliders. And Trip Robinson has a solo record called Milo that I absolutely love. Next is this Rolling Stones Beggars Banquet. That's about to fall out right there. Reissue. It was reissued in 2018. I picked it up at my local record store and was floored by the sound. I don't know if it's known throughout the vinyl community that the sound is tremendous, but for me, I just have to keep checking the clock to make sure the video hasn't stopped. Just a wonderful pressing of this. Listened to it a number of times and absolutely loved it. Can't leave out the Coleman Collection. This is one of the records that Mazzy sent me tied to the Coleman Collection. He sent me, I think about 10. And this is the one that I've listened to a number of times. Really enjoy it. I did not know this record prior. So it's a treat, an absolute treat. Let's see. So you got the card, the Coleman card. Something that I've talked about I plan on doing for my brother for his record collection. I just have to get the cards printed. So thank you, Mazzy, for that. The archivist recommended this record to me, and man, she was spot on this one. Grant Green, Idle Moments, bought this about 2 or 3 months ago. Blue Note, looks like it was reissued this year. Just a phenomenal record. Thank you so much to the archivist for the recommendation. I bought this on Discogs, maybe $15, and I've listened to it a ton. Obviously, Tom T. Hall passed away, I think it was this year. And I've never really gotten deep into his catalog, but everything I listened to by him, I absolutely love. Prior to purchasing this and knowing a few of his songs, I really only knew him via the tribute album that came out a couple of, I don't really know exactly how long ago, maybe 20 years ago, late 90s, early 2000s. An incredible tribute album that I don't think you can find on any digital services. That's why I collect physical. And I listened to it not long ago. It's a tribute to Tom T. Hall. There's some great acts on there. Next, this is a personal, well, they're all personal, but when I was on my trip for my brother's memorial, this is one of the first records I saw in a record store. And my brother Lane and I connected over Bill Morrissey's book, Edson. If you have not read that book, you can find it anywhere, eBay. It's about a songwriter who lives, I think, in New Hampshire. Just a guy, simple life. I think I read it 4 times. Bill Morrissey's Edson. Check that book out. I have yet to spend this since I bought it. It was obviously, as I said, a very personal purchase. It was $20. I can't remember where I got it. Probably somewhere in Portland. But I got that because it made me think of my brother. This I just recently got. This is Sundazed. Oh, Vinyl Me Please. It's only 500. I got number 78. It sounds incredible. I think this is Buck Owens' first record. And it is tremendous. Buck Owens is an artist that I've been rediscovering this year. Absolutely loving. So we got a couple more, 5 more. Another Vinyl Me Please. Graham Parsons' Grievous Angel sounds tremendous. I've really taken to Vinyl Me Please. I didn't think I would be into it. But they every month they seem to have something that I'm really excited about. It's Dolly Parton record, Buck Owens, Graham. think next month is the Sugar Roast record, the one with the purple cover, the one that I really loved in the late 90s. I think it was late 90s. But this one, Graham Parsons' Grievous Angel, man, the sound is remarkable. And I think it's a light blue. The record color is light blue. Just threw that in. The Bernice Brothers reissue of The World Won't End. Joe Bernice, if you haven't listened to the Bernice Brothers, check them out. My favorite record of theirs is Overcome by Happiness. Came out on Sub Pop. But everything by the Bernice Brothers is great. Incredible sort of power pop. Joe Bernice, such a talent. Glad I got this reissue. Thanks for putting it out to the folks in the Bernice camp. Just got I think this just came out. Art Blakey and the Messengers. Lost Flight to Tokyo, the Lost 1961 recordings. I've listened to it twice this week. Love it. Art Blakey, as I've said many times, I'm still sort of getting to understand jazz and sort of feel out my favorites, but Art Blakey is right up there with my favorite jazz artists in my early sort of exploration into the genre. And this, man, it's heavy too. I love it. I love what I've heard. This is a record that I've wanted to be reissued forever. It's one of those, you go into the record store and you always look for the one record that you really, or there's artists that you just always sort of find yourself seeing if anything is around, and this was one for me. World Party. This record, Goodbye Jumbo, I think their best. Is It Too Late? Way Down Now. Put the Message in the Box. My buddy Dave, I think that's like his favorite song of all time. Carl Wallinger is the lead guy. This, I haven't opened it yet, but I will most likely this weekend. An incredible record. One left. And then, as I said, I will soon be doing my best of 2021. That will also, I can't remember if I said this already because, as I said, I've done this video 4 times. I will be doing a year-end wrap-up. I will be doing a giveaway. And I'll tell you right now what I'll be giving away is this record. I accidentally ordered 2 on Amazon. I rarely buy albums from Amazon, but I'm trying to get this best of list put together, and they get here the quickest. So a lot of people have been talking about this record. I believe it's Mdu Mokhtar. I think he plays on the Super Wolves record, the Bonnie Prince Billy Matt Sweeney record that I love, which I'll be talking about in the year-end wrap. I've listened to this a couple times this week digitally, and it is fantastic. So in my next video, one of you will be the recipient of this. So I'll think up some sort of contest or something. But the last record I found, and I've been looking for this forever, I don't know if they or the last sort of favorite acquisition of the year, the Justin Townes Earl record, Kids in the Street. I didn't know that you could find this anywhere. I thought it was fully out of print. So I don't know if New West reissued this. Doesn't look like it. It says 2017 New West. This was one of the those giddy moments you have as a record collector. I was in my local record store maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and I saw this. Oh my God! And just grabbed it. And I adore Justin Townes Earl. It saddens me that he's not making any music anymore. But I was so thrilled. I think this is the only record of his that I do not own. I have his cover of Paul Simon's Graceland, which I believe has the same exact cover. I have the 7-inch of that, which I love. But Justin Townes Earl, Kids in the Street, giddiness when I found that. That's it. I did do a record I wish more people knew about. And again, I think I said, I may repeat these because I can't remember which ones I've covered. But I'm always shocked that Ted Hawkins isn't known more. Just a remarkable songwriter, guitar player. His voice is just, And this record, this was one of those finds. I think I found it at Amoeba maybe 10 years ago. Watch Your Step, which is probably my favorite Ted Hawkins record, has Watch Your Step, Bring It On Home, Daddy, Who Got My Natural Comb. That's such a great song. I Gave Up All I Had. Go listen to that. I Gave Up All I Had by Ted Hawkins. Listen to his vocal delivery on this. Man, that's it. Checking in at 20 minutes. Again, I'll do my best of 2021 probably in the next week, or definitely in the next week. I hope everyone's doing okay. I know we're going through another rough stretch. I've been reading a lot about the mental health toll of COVID and just everything going on. New York Times had a long article about it, and I'm doing everything I can in my small little world of trying to help people with mental health issues. Again, backline.care, if you are in the music industry in any capacity and you are in need of mental health services, you can reach out to us and we will help walk you through getting resources that we hope will be helpful for you. Last thing I'll say, every subscription is $1 to Backline. I think we're at $815 when I checked this morning, so that's $815, which will go to that cause. $500 has already been spent or been sent when we hit that mark, and the remainder through the end of the year, however many subs we get. I think I said up to 4,000, and I don't think we're gonna hit 4,000. That's all. Congrats to Mazzy. I think he just hit 15,000 subs. Man, what the accomplishment. That's it. Have a good holiday. I'll probably talk to you before Christmas and the New Year arrives, as I mentioned, as I do my best of the year. I'm just sort of rambling on right now. I just feel like I just keep talk about the Knicks for a little bit. We had a nice win the other night. I don't know. I will talk to you in a few days. Take care.